All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch. As you can see here, I have this report, this article, and this is taken from yahoofinance.com. And as you can see, it's entitled "Startups Are Installing Tiny Data Centers in People's Homes to Reduce Strain on the Beleaguered Electrical Grid." All right. So they are now utilizing people's homes, and I believe, as it was reported in this particular interview, which I'll play in a moment, they're also building homes specifically for the the ability to host these data centers that's going to be embedded into people's living space. And this just goes to show how far they're willing to go in order to get this new world order system, this beast system, up and running. All right. And this shows you the time that we are living in, and everything that we warned you about concerning of course the mark, the Revelation 13 and 16 concerning the beast system and how it's going to be run. Everything is coming to pass. Everything is coming into fruition through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. And as it tells us in Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. All right. These are the times that we're living in. These are the times where you're going to begin and are beginning to find out that Great Millstone, beginning with Elder Apostle Tahar down to the other apostles and elders, bishops, on down. These are the times you're going to find out that we have the truth. All right. We have the truth of the Holy Bible. We have the pure, untampered, gospel of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, in these last days. And we're not saying that to boast. We're saying that, in truth and in sincerity. And for those of you that don't hearken and don't get down with the program, you're going to be left behind. And you're going to be subject to receiving the MOTB. And you're going to be subject to receiving the judgment from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai in these last days. All right? It's not a game. All right? It really is not a game. Now, it says here, well, you know what? Right quick, let me play this video, a few excerpts from this video.
Arch is this going to cost me to install, to maintain?
Yeah, that's a great question. It costs you nothing. The idea here is very similar to us being able to leverage existing capacity that your home may have in the form of power distribution networks, and now install a device that provides a larger economic good, right?
So it comes with the new house I'm buying.
That's right. It comes with the new house you're buying, and the way we're thinking about building this is a third of, let's say, new homes being built by a home builder partner of ours like Pulte would have.
Now, of course, if they utilize people's homes that's already built, there's going to be incentives that's going to, have people want to endorse, this technology and have it within their home. All right, there's going to be goodies that you're going to receive. There's going to be payouts. Okay? There's going to be benefits in receiving, this technology. All right? Just like there's going to be the benefit for those that receive the MOTB. You're going to be able to be a part of the grid. Okay, you're going to be able to operate in society without being locked out. So this is the time that we're living in. Okay, they're conditioning your mind already to receive, this technology. All right, this beast system technology. Okay.
Would have extra nodes, but 100% of the homes in the building will have span panels. That is the material unlock for being able to add this large electric load, and a battery. So the benefit to you as a consumer is you're paying less for the home, and on an ongoing basis, you're getting free energy, free internet, and free backup.
So it's gonna.
So you're paying less for the home, and you're getting free energy, free internet, and free backup. Okay, and a reduction on your energy bill, a substantial reduction. All right, which I believe they're going to go into. Okay, so we're now in the midst, all right, of an energy crisis or a fuel crisis. Okay, you have this war, with Iran, Babylon the Great, which is America, and Israel. Okay, and we're about to enter into the midst of World War III. And what comes with that, as we've been experiencing, is a hike in energy, a hike, in fuel. Okay, so people are going to be desperate to bring those prices down. All right, and again, this is all planned. This is all engineered chaos that Esau is bringing to the world. All right, and his plan is to bring you to your knees so you accept this beast system, so you succumb to it. And these are the various different methods of engineered chaos that he's using in order to bring it about. Okay, so this is beautiful, man. Let me get a scripture right quick. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. All right, we always bring it out because we're in that time. And it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And in the NLT, it says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. Okay, so we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We're not ignorant of his evil schemes. Okay, for those of us that are illuminated with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, okay, we know what's going on and we know what to expect in these last days, and therefore we know how to avoid, okay, the coming, evil schemes and devices that's being introduced to the world. And again, that's why it's very important that you know what the MOTB is, okay, and you know what this beast system is getting ready to bring. You have to know this information. It's very important, okay, because the judgment, all right, for taking the mark, is outlined in Revelation, the 14th chapter, all right.
Lower my electricity bill.
That's exactly
By
right.
how much do you think?
It's not lowering your electricity bill. We are discounting your electricity bill because we are able to monetize the compute in this rapidly growing AI market and use those revenues to help compensate you for accessing a certain amount of space and power in your property.
Some other basic consumer minded questions that come to mind: privacy, security. How loud is it?
Yeah, that's
Walk
a
me
great
through
question.
that.
So again, the design of the system is really intended to be able to go on the side of your house and cause no disruption to you and have no perceptible impact to you. So it's a 60 decibel unit, so it's quieter than your average air conditioning system on the side of your house, and it's designed to be providing you economic benefits. So when we think about the average energy consumption and internet consumption of a home.
And this technology, these data centers, they're causing all kind of hell in the locations where they're being built. There's reports of rivers being drained of the water, all right, because they need a constant flow of water to maintain a low temperature so they don't overheat. Okay, they've been tapping into water, illegally, utilizing water, that's unauthorized to them. Okay, that's what these data centers and these companies have been doing. Okay, so you're going to have a rising of heat. You're going to have, a rising of radiation, a lack of water. There's all kind of problems, that this technology and these data centers actually present. Okay, and that's why the scriptures say, destroy them, that destroyeth the earth. This devil is totally destroying the earth. Okay, and things are only going to get worse. Things are not going to get better, because remember, Esau, Edom, he's a madman. Okay, Esau is a total madman, beginning with the elites, and by any means necessary, okay, and I mean any means necessary, they will go all out and make sure that, this new world order system, is brought into fruition. But it's really biblical prophecy. All right, it's really Yahweh Shem Yahushai enabling, these things to actually transpire, because these are the necessary evils that have to come to pass in order for us to enter into the next phase of the end of this man's kingdom. Okay?
We are consuming a lot more than that for the compute node. So we're essentially paying for all of your energy consumption as well as the compute system's energy consumption with the revenues we generate by offering GPU capacity as a service to a cloud service provider.
And Arch, how would you all make money? Like, what's the business model here?
Yeah, so it's very similar to owning, let's say, a large network of cell phone towers, right? They are technology equipment pieces that are usually sited in commercial buildings, and you're paying the commercial real estate owner a lease fee, if you will. This is kind of similar to that, right? So we're occupying a small amount of otherwise unusable space in your side yard that often is in the setback space between your home and your property line, if you will. And it's quiet, it's innocuous, it's doing its thing. And in exchange for being able to access that space and power, we're able to give you pretty healthy compensation in the form of either discounted or free energy and internet.
And this sounds
discounted or free energy / internet. Okay, that's going to be heavily, what's the word I'm looking for? That's going to be heavily appetizing. All right, for someone that is low on funds, someone that is struggling, with their energy and their fuel, struggling financially. All right, you got the cost of living, crisis. Okay, all this is all engineered chaos. All right, to bring you to your knees and to have you accept, this beast system. Okay, so hey, if we're still here, next year, all right, the year after, all right, this world is going to be completely transformed. Now, the agenda, is 2030, but Lord willing, way before then, all right, major things are going to play out, and we can see that happening. All right, I don't even think this place is going to go on until 2030, but just bear in mind, we're already halfway through 2026. Okay, we're already halfway through 2026. Today is the 1st of June. Okay, it's June. You remember that? Okay, but look what's happening. You're having pure talk of MOTB technology, data centers. Okay, the pulling of the grid. We're in the midst of war. All of these things are happening, but yet still, you still have camps out here, congregations out here that are not pushing the MOTB. Well, they're going to be confounded. All right, they're going to be severely confounded, in these last days.
It's very cool, Arch. Is it actually proven out, though? Are these getting installed?
Yeah.
These boxes are getting installed, right?
That's why the scriptures say, they are like dumb dogs that cannot bark. All right, you're not warning the people. You're not warning the people the way you're supposed to be warning them in regards to what's about to befall this earth. Okay, the scriptures say, if a trumpet blown on certain sound, who shall prepare themselves to the battle? You guys are blowing an uncertain sound.
Right now?
Yeah, so we've been working on this for nearly 2 years now. And over the last few quarters this year, we've actually installed units in production homes. One of the first production units we put is in partnership with Pulte Homes in a community that's being built in Sacramento. And we are able to demonstrate that it provides really high uptime and high reliability for the compute service, while at the same time being able to provide no interruptions to the power being provided to the home as such. Right?
All right, so this is already being done. Okay, this is not a thing of, the future, the next few months. No, this is already in action. It's already happening. Okay? So what's the rush to get all of these data centers up and running? It's for the MOTB system. Okay? This is what this great urgency is about. It's about bringing forth this MOTB system, man. All right? Now, this is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, and it reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth they have but a short time." So they're coming down with great wrath. Okay? And again, by any means necessary, they're trying to make sure that this system is up and running. It doesn't matter how much rivers run dry. It doesn't matter how much, masses, water, bodies of water they have to utilize in order to keep these things cool. They're going to go all out. It doesn't matter how much land they destroy. There's also reports of them destroying land, leaving parched land. This is what's happening off of the back of this technology in these data centers. They're causing all kind of hell. Okay? But again, because he knoweth they have but a short time. All right? They know Yahushua is coming. So they want to make sure that this is accomplished ASAP.
What do you imagine are some hurdles could be as you look to try to scale? I mean, is it cost of capital? Is it regulation? What is it?
I think we've been able to address a lot of those fundamental pieces around the compute business model. I think where we are spending a lot more time is helping consumers understand where the net benefit to them is. Scale is an important thing to deliver. Fortunately, with our home builders, we can deploy, in the US, about 1 million single-family homes are being built every year. Even if you were to take 5 or 10% of those homes, we can meet the entire inference compute demand on an annual basis. But we can do so in a way that doesn't increase the cost of building the electrical network for large-scale data centers, right? So we're doing it in a way where we think the economic benefit can be shared across all ratepayers or all consumers, as opposed to only requiring massive capital investment in large new data centers.
Finally, Art, just walk us through your partnership with NVIDIA. How did that come about?
Yeah, NVIDIA obviously is one of the leading providers of compute today, especially for artificial intelligence and inference. As we were starting to design and build the Extra node, we saw an opportunity for us to partner with NVIDIA on purpose-building liquid-cooled systems that could be installed on the side of a home or a small commercial building by using their technology as well. So we've been collaborating with them on the design of the system, and what we expect to continue to collaborate with them is delivering a really high quality of service inference compute network.
Right. So there you have it. All right. We are closer to the manifestation of the MOTB. All right, which is beautiful, for Wada Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, for hastening, all right, these prophecies, man, for accelerating every single day, bit by bit, the end of Esau Edom's kingdom. All right, this is a beautiful thing. And we love to report on news of this nature, okay? Let me see if there's anything else in this article. All right, so check this out. It says let me read it from here. It says that's on top of concerns that data centers are guzzling water as part of their cooling systems. 2 data center developments, one in Arizona and one in Georgia, took public water without authorization. Okay? So they're actually tapping into water without permission, without authorization, just to cool down these centers. And a recent study by the Houston Advanced Research Center projected that the centers would drain as much as 399 billion gallons of water in Texas alone by 2030. Okay, now again, there's that 2030, all right, that magic number that keeps popping up, that magic year, okay, because that's the year that they envision, everything is going to be, complete, but really they want it complete before then, all right, they're not going to start then, they want it complete before then, okay, that's the deadline. Now it says, we know that what a big project this is, and what a nuisance is going to be and what environmental impact it's going to have on this area. Catherine Hochstetler, all right, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I'm sure I'm not, a 42-year-old former U.S. Marine living in Saline Township, Michigan, across a future data center site, recently told Fortune, "I'm just so nervous for everybody else that doesn't realize." All right. So, again, there you have it. All right. We're in a beautiful time. This thing is accelerating. And these are, the vital components of the beast system coming into form. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this brief lesson was edifying. And until next time, I'll say shalom.